All right, we're going to do the proof for the geometric series formula. This is the geometric series formula. This is a geometric series. So how do we get this right here? Well, if you think it through, what's really saying here is if I started, say, with 3, and then let's say I'm doubling it. Wouldn't my next one be 3 times 2? And if I double that, wouldn't that be 3 times 2 times 2? And then the next one, wouldn't it be this times 2? Times 2 times 2. Every one has another times 2. So what this is really saying is your first term times r, your first term times r twice. This is your first term times r 3 times until you get to your first term times r to the number of terms 1 less. That is the formula for a geometric sequence series. Now, we're going to get this thing. So what I did here is written in the red here. I multiplied both sides by r. Do you see the r right there? There's r. See, I multiplied both sides by r? Now, it's going to be like, how'd that work? If I multiply this by r, don't you get this? If you multiply this by r, don't you get that? If you multiply this by r, don't you get that? If you multiply this by r, won't that be the 4th power? If you multiply this by r, won't it become just r to the nth? So you multiply both sides by r, and then you add down like elimination. Sorry, not now. Sorry, not add down. We subtract down both statements. So watch what happens. When you subtract down, don't these cancel out? Don't these cancel out? Don't these cancel out? Don't these cancel out? And what you'll see is, aren't we left with this, which makes that? When we subtract down, all the inside disappears, leaving you this minus this, and we wrote it right there. Over here, aren't we going this minus this, which is right here? Okay, so we now have this. We multiply both sides by r. We subtract it down, which we do that when we do elimination. Is another method when you use systems of equations. So now we got this. So what we do is we factor out Sn on the left side. See right here, if you take an S sub n out of both of these, there's your GCF. It's called a GCF. You're left with 1 minus r. And over here, if we pull an a out, we're left with 1 minus r to the nth. If you were to not trust me on that, could you multiply a and get this? Could you multiply s sub n and get this? But what we did is we pulled out s sub n over here. We pulled out a out here. We now have this. That's what I said right there. Last step, you divide both sides by 1 minus r. So if you simply go and divide both sides by, if I go 1 minus r, divide by 1 minus r, do you notice how that would cancel, leaving you that formula, which is the formula for a series, a geometric series. This is a geometric series. I changed it algebraically to get the formula to sum up a geometric series.